Evening. That's the wrong PlayStation controller. Shout out to Patrick. Patrick Static? I love that guy.
The peoples of our world live their lives blessed by the powers of mana. To maintain that balance, alms are chosen to offer their souls to the mana tree. This is how we continue the cycle and ensure a future of prosperity.
Didn't watch a lot of SpongeBob growing up, or ever, actually, at all. In fact, I'm pretty sure anything I know about SpongeBob is either through memes or against my will.
For millennia, we have lived and died this way.
Okay, I know it's been a little bit
Visions of
since we
mana.
last played because stuff happened. Okay. That's concerning. Real quick, before I get started. Not even before y'all. It's also known as us. God, that's really funny. Real quick, before I get started, because I keep forgetting when I'm playing Fatal Frame to make these announcements. I'm a little behind schedule, so the first spooky story for October is not going to happen tomorrow. I might do it maybe Friday or Thursday next week, or... No, that's not! It's fine. But every Saturday, probably during Played Up, or before we start doing Played Up, I'll be telling a, short story that I've written for October. And so, if I don't get through all of them, maybe I'll just double up and do 2 of them on Halloween or something. So I'm a little behind schedule. It's okay. I'm smoothing it out. We're getting things going. If you are part of the Discord, the interactive story is now live. Each entry will be up for about 24 hours, so you have time to vote, or time to think about it. I didn't say when Lissa was in chat because I didn't want to feel like I was taking over your playing Sushi, but if you want to poke at her about it and see if she wants to vote, or she can just join and vote later in the entries, that's fine. Or she doesn't have to participate at all, that's also fine. I know that first part was kind of short. They will get longer. That was just the intro one. That's it. That's live. No live reading tomorrow. There will be one next Saturday. That's kind of it. Played Up tomorrow. I don't know if Trick or Treat is back, because last time I looked for it, I couldn't find it. So if there's Trick or Treat, I will turn it on. If not, we'll manage. What is the other thing? Next Saturday, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, I might play DBD on instead of Played Up. We'll see. Fatal Frame is still Monday and Tuesdays until we beat it. Once we beat Fatal Frame, I'll be switching over to Resident Evil 8, or Resident Evil Village. Visions will still be on Thursdays. Final Fantasy IV will still be on Fridays. I know if I have to skip something, I'm skipping Final Fantasy because I feel like it's just... I can pick it up whenever and we can kind of just bounce around. And since we're kind of just going through the pixels at a very kind of slow and leisurely pace, I figured it doesn't matter that much. So that's where we're at. But anyway, Visions of Mana. Last time we stopped right as we got to the Airy Passage. So we haven't met Karina yet, but we got to see everyone leave. This is my normal playthrough. Everyone's level 62. I'm still on chapter 5. That hasn't changed. Okay, but here we are, Airy Passage. We met Ramco. Oh, and we have Sylphid's Boomerang. I don't know if they've said it's Sylphid's Boomerang yet, but we have Sylphid's Boomerang. Return the vessel to the chief. First thing we're going to do, actually,
Let's rest up.
is okay. We're going to save here. This is that way I don't accidentally save over my larger save. Okay, behold the Airy Passage. Longren is that way. I can't really explore this area too much right now. I don't need to be breaking those. Just doing it out of habit.
I'll take you all on.
Ow. Shot.
This should be the last of it. Take this! Come at me!
We're actually not going to
keep
explore the
moving.
Airy Passage too much. Oh, actually, you know what? I did. I went through part of the Airy Passage. I would say this is right. We went through the first part of the Airy Passage. Airy? Where the giant wind crystal is. Hold on. Airy. Did I fight the sleepy mushboom? Yeah, see? Giant wind crystal. There's a league rune called Airy. A league rune. From what game? Also, little details. I like how all the trees here are bent from... Oh, League of Legends. Duh. But, like, they're like, blown and they're, like, tilted in the wind. Oh, would you guys like to see something fascinating? Or fascinating might not be the right word, but... For the record, I can't fight him yet. I will die. He's like level 50-something. But in Legend of Mana, when you have demi-human pets, you don't get to name them. They already have names. And the demi-human... Oh god, I missed it. Chovan is named Cheeto. And here we have Deft Cheeto. Nope. No, thank you. He's not the only one like that.
Kind of exciting. This might be useful.
No, it's C-H-I-T-T-O. I don't know how else to say it other than Cheeto. Yeah! There's another one that I didn't get the Swagan to spawn on Legend of Mana.
Yes.
But that Swagan's name is Tickle. And Tickle is also in Visions.
This is kind of exciting. Is this?
Stamina Sigil. Yeah. That's a whole little quest. I'm kind of upset I didn't get that because...
Easy.
I don't do that. Very end of the arena.
This should be the last of it. Take this. Come at me. A soul guard's resolve never sways.
Yeah, I don't remember all of their names. I know Alicia, because she's the succubus, and I normally grab her. Cheeto, Tickle. Like, I couldn't tell you the name of, like, the Yeti or the Mallard. Okay, I'll be back out here for a side quest, so we're not gonna spend too much time.
Watch yourselves, everyone. Take this.
I also don't need to worry about
Just what I need.
grabbing Karina yet. So far, I haven't had anyone not join me at my
Should be
loot.
nice to them.
When push comes to shove, I don't hold back. Here they come!
Easy. Just one left.
I'm with you.
You're mine.
Not yet.
Come at me. I'm getting the hang of
Okay,
this.
yeah, that's fine. Most
Yes.
pro gamers. I mean, I might be. Don't tell Yulia I said that. She'll never let me live it down.
Taking this.
Ooh. Rabbits. Okay, anyway. Lundgren. Let's get this party started. Too late.
This place sure lives up to its name. The wind never stops, huh?
This breeze is strange, though. It feels melancholic somehow.
Well, first order of business is to return the elemental vessel to the chief. Then we see about the Alm. Dragonfolk can live to be pretty old, right?
Do you think the new Alm of Wind could be a senior citizen of the Vale?
Don't worry. I'll carry them to the mana tree on my back if I gotta.
What a fine, upstanding soul guard you make!
Let's plan our next move.
Val, I actually don't doubt that at all. Val just carrying someone on his back up the fucking mountain if he had to.
Yes!
My grandson make perfect alm. I can only pray the fairy will bring honor to our family name. What'll happen if the fairy doesn't show up? Will the Vale get trashed like that other village I heard about? Okay, that other village, was a tragedy. But you don't talk about that. Well, no, I imagine a lot of people talk about it, actually. Wait, hold on. Okay, I've mentioned this before, but you cannot double jump or dash when you're in towns. And it is the most annoying. Oh, you can dash. No, you can run. You can't dash. And it makes parkouring up certain buildings so annoying. No, I didn't jump for some reason.
This is kind of exciting. This might be useful.
I don't even know what it was. It was over. Okay, good. I don't know if that's going to change if I'm playing on hard, but I have so much money on, like, my normal run through.
Taking this. Yes.
This is the children we ran into. I'm pooped from all the running. I wish I could fly like Remco can. Hi there, Mr. Solgard. Did you return the boomerang to the chief? Not yet.
Hello.
Lundgren welcomes you, young Solgard. Our humble vale is under the watchful sight of Sylphid, the elements of wind. Who I still accidentally sometimes call Jen, so that's what I'm talking about. If you hear me talk about Jen, I mean Sylphid. People are so high-strung all the time, it's bad for their health, but you gotta learn to take some time to just lie down in the fields and let the wind carry all our worries away. I mean... maybe? Sir?
Grizzly.
Wind divination comes in handy in uncertain times like these. We ask the breeze our questions. Will the fairy come soon? Will she come later? And then we simply wait. I wish I could dye fabric with the wind, just like Karina.
I'm Val, the Soul Guard. I came across your elemental vessel and wanted to return it.
Gracious, I was wondering where Ramco and the little ones spirited that away to. Thank you. Those youngins will get an earful later, but enough about that. Welcome to Longerin, friends.
A pleasure. So where might we find the Alm of Wind?
On that subject, I have some unfortunate news. The fairy has not yet arrived to name the Alm.
Oh, then you're still waiting to see who gets the job?
Here in the Vale, we welcome the fairy with a traditional wind-dyeing ceremony, as performed by one of our wind oracles. But this year, our attempts at the ritual have been unsuccessful. There is one oracle, Karina, whose attunement to the wind element is unparalleled. At this rate, I fear that without Karina, the fairy may not come at all.
Please don't get me started on the
Sadly, she
biggest plot
refuses
hole
to
I
listen
have
to
about
my orders
some of this.
anymore. No matter what I do or how soundly her parents scold her, Karina says she won't budge until she feels like it. But now that you have arrived, Sir Soul God, there may be a chance to get her to see reason. I humbly beseech you to talk to Karina.
What? Why me?
Perhaps if she is buffeted by a breath of fresh air, she may yet bend to the winds of fate. Be sure to give her a good buffeting, mind you.
You mean use the vessel to literally knock some sense into her?
Surely a precious artifact should be handled delicately.
These days, the elemental vessel is scarcely used as more than a child's plaything. I am certain that a soul god would have much better applications for such an object. Come, if the fairy is not properly welcomed, it could be the end of the Vale as we know it. Please, you must make Karina see reason.
I think I've got my work cut out for me this time.
Okay.
The chief seemed genuinely worried for the fate of the Vale.
You're gonna hear
Now's your
a very
time to shine,
similar
Sir
scenario
Solgar.
several times throughout this game. And it drives me crazy every freaking time. The fairy has to, or okay, I guess the fairy doesn't have to name an alm, but it's part of their tradition. But every area has like their own little ritual or festival thingy that will quote unquote summon the fairy. And my brain,
Yes.
I just can't, like, if this has to happen, if these sacrifices have to happen, why do you have to summon the fairy? Shouldn't the fairy be like, hey, it's time for the alm to be named, and just show up? And then, like, if you did a festival around that, that'd be one thing. But a lot of the times you hear that of like, oh, we haven't done this, so the fairy hasn't arrived yet. And it's like, why not? Makes no fucking sense to me.
Ugh.
Karina's a fantastic wind dyer, but I think we depend on her too much. Given how distracted she's been recently, I don't think we can count on her to summon the fairy. And then you have that issues like that.
Oh no.
Karina has always dreamed of becoming an alm, but since she's lost one of her wings, there's little chance she's an eligible candidate anymore.
Oh.
Karina tends to be wary of others, except for Shiryu, that is. Those two are practically joined at the hip these days. The downside is that she started to neglect her duties as an oracle. She's missing a wing, yes.
Taking this?
I think it's her left wing. You'll see. It's hard to tell because of how fluffy her hair is. I don't know. Something happened when she was younger. And it was also around the time that she met Ramco. They allude to it, but I don't have the full story yet.
Taking this?
I must have took the courage to write the letter, but my heart's not ready for the next step yet. Oh yeah, I get a thing from. Also, I don't know if any of you saw when I was first playing this game. I am very seriously on the Karina support defense squad. I want to toss most of her village up the fucking mountain. Go. There she is.
Grizzly!
out and collecting stuff.
Taking this?
Why did Shiryu even become friends with Karina? Like, clearly I'm kinder and way, way more modest. Said every modest person ever. Gave wind dyeing to try earlier, but it went awry and I ended up wasting a bunch of fabric. These wild winds are to blame, I tell you. Yeah, they don't ever properly explain how wind dyeing works.
Huh?
Our wind-dyed garments are always snapped up by traveling merchants, the pink ones in particular. It takes a lot of skill to attain that specific shade, and this is reflected in the price.
Yes! Taking this?
I think these are Karina's parents. My daughter Karina never listens to a word anyone says. I hope the strict upbringing we gave her isn't what turned her into such a little rebel. Sir?
Oh,
Oh yeah, the Soul Guard's here already, but the fairy hasn't even arrived yet. No, she has not. 1 second, Karina. I'm gonna go grab the treasure chest. So hey.
This is kind of exciting. This might be useful.
You folks in the habit of staring at strangers? What is it? Are you selling something? Find somewhere else to hawk your wares.
Are you by any chance Karina, the Wind Oracle? I'm Hina, the Alma Fire, and this is...
Val, the Soul Guard. Nice to meet you.
What's the convoy of alms want with me? No, let me guess. The chief sent you to convince me to do the wind dyeing, right?
Well, yeah, actually. In Tiania, we build a ceremonial bonfire to celebrate the fairy's arrival. Longren has different traditions, though, right?
The chief thinks sending outsiders to do his dirty work is gonna make me budge. Well, he's got another thing coming. Nope, never again.
But if the fairy doesn't come, no one can be named the Alm of Wind. For the sake of Longren and the rest of the world, would you please consider performing the wind dyeing ceremony?
When someone asks a stranger for a favor, usually they have something to offer in exchange. I'll tell you what, you can find Shiryu for me. I've looked all over town already, and I gotta get off my feet for a bit.
Shiryu? I'm guessing they're a friend of yours. What do they look like?
He's dreamy. About the same age as me. Got a nice smile.
Oh, someone kind of like Val then?
Spare me. He's nowhere near as wimpy as this guy.
Gee, thanks. Well, Hina, sounds like we have a missing person to find. If Karina's already looked in town, let's try the outskirts.
Just immediately shot down. Okay, so that is my side quest tutorial. I don't think I can pick up the other ones yet, which is fine. Good news is I already know where Golden Boy is. I do believe Karina's voice actor's name is Rachel Rial, I think. I don't know too many other... You know, at this point, I just have to immediately assume... She's not, okay. Genshin has so many voice actors, I just have to assume. I don't know who that is. I'm guessing someone from Genshin, but...
there. Shiryu, I presume?
That's me. And you are?
Val, the Soul Guard. And this is Hina, the Alma Fire.
Oh, Val, Hina. Lovely to meet you. I'm Shiryu, a historian and
Oh, is that
keeper
from
of
Final
tales
Fantasy
from the
XIV?
Vale.
Is that character's
What are you
name?
doing so far outside of Longren?
Calibrating windmills, actually. The wind's been hard to predict lately, which might be a side effect of having no alm yet.
Speaking of alms, Karina said she'd help call the fairy with some wind dyeing if we found you for her.
She did, huh? I guess she came around to the idea after all.
Is the dyeing process hard or something?
Not particularly. As long as you know the steps, that is. You just capture the breeze with the cloth to bring out the colored dye. The issue is that the fairy won't come for just any old round of wind dyeing. Karina has the most skill in Longren, so she has the best chance of summoning her.
Then why is she so averse to helping?
Because Karina wants... She wants to be chosen as the Alm. But all she's ever heard from the rest of the Vale is that she's wrong for the job. And yet... they keep asking her to help with the wind dyeing. It wouldn't surprise me if the fairy was staying away on purpose to avoid these hypocrites.
But why would Karina be a bad choice of Alm?
Did she pick a fight with the elemental or something?
That's a good one. But, nothing that scandalous, I promise. But it's complicated. Too complicated to bother you both with right now. Besides, I know Karina wants the Vale to prosper, just like everyone else. And it looks like your arrival might have been enough to give her that push. Anyway, I'll head back to the Vale for now. See you there. And thank you.
It's not the first time, like, they refer to it as steps, which is, like, that makes sense. Dying has to do with steps. I also wondered if it's akin to kind of like dancing. Not quite. But it's a little weird how they do the wind dying. The reason why I bring up dancing is Karina's wind, like, you would know, like, from the demo, we know Karina is the Alma Wind. Like, she will get chosen. Her wind elemental class is called Dancer. Did I? There we go. Well, maybe I ran through part of this already. But they don't properly explain how wind dyeing works, other than wind oracles just... I guess they use the spirits to dye the cloths, is what you're supposed to gather from that illusion. Oh, okay, well, I'm glad you could just teleport up there, Hina. Let me up. God damn it. This game has a very interesting use of parkour for, oh god, Grizzly, because they're dead bears. Oh gosh. It's Grizzly syrup. Oh, oh yeah, there is something up there. Oh no. About to fall off.
Yes!
I'll run into one in Longren in a second. Or will eventually. I trade syrup for unique items from the dead bears.
I told you, the more you yell at me, the less I want to have anything to do with the wind dyeing.
Now you're just being stubborn. Didn't you hear that the convoy from Tiania has already arrived?
Hydrating.
We can't keep wasting the alm's time with your selfishness. You're putting the whole Vale in danger with your temper tantrum.
If you want to meet the fairy so bad, then you do the ceremony. Why does it always have to be me, anyway?
Her little
It's not like I
stomps.
have a chance of becoming the
sorry.
alm.
She
Don't
does
make
that, like, when she gets
abundantly
frustrated.
clear. You think I'll just go along and do all the hard work for nothing?
Pouting about it won't help your case.
She has the biggest
I'm
hair,
not pouting. I'm angry.
which is so funny to
After
watch
all,
when she's fighting.
I just wanted to be the alm and see the world.
Honey, we know it's hard for you to accept, but it's been years since anyone in our family has been considered worthy of alm status.
Sure, your affinity to the wind element meant you had a good chance at the gig. But after what you did in the sanctum,
Fine. Criticize me all you want, but I don't regret my actions one bit, so stop lecturing me.
How irresponsible. The other wind oracles don't cause their parents this much trouble.
but if we don't push her, the fairy might not visit Longren at all. Maybe Shiryu can talk some sense into her.
Okay. Yeah, Karina's parents are not my favorite people sometimes.
Aha! There you are! Thanks for finding Shiryu for me.
No sweat. So you'll perform the wind dyeing ceremony now?
Did I say that? Next time, get it in writing. Besides, I have some stuff to talk to Shiryu about. Bye-bye.
Hang on. I thought you wanted a favor for a favor. We gotta call the fairy to Longren before it's too late.
Karina, don't forget. There's that old saying about the disaster that could befall our tribe if an alm isn't chosen. The wind will rage, and the winged fall flightless.
We're too old for fairy tales, Shiryu. Besides, the wind is always blowing here, and it's not like we dragon folk use our wings to fly in the first place.
Maybe the proverb isn't meant for dragon folk. Ramco has wings too, you know?
Fine. But I don't have to be the one to do it. No one in town even cares who does the wind dyeing, and I wouldn't do it even if they begged. Why bother? It's not like the fairy would ever pick me to be the alm anyway.
I have an idea. Val, why don't you do the wind dyeing instead?
Me?
Anyone is allowed to use the technique. And besides, it never hurts to have a breath of fresh air to try and bend the winds of fate.
The chief said something similar, now that you mention it.
Good luck. You'll need it. I think I'll just stay here with Shiryu if it's all the same to you.
She is, but it balances out.
You two do make a cute couple.
Yeah. Look, the dyeing stall is up a ways over there. Just give it a go.
Sorry? Just think you know how to type.
Okay, it's up to me to perform the ceremony and call the fairy. Here goes nothing.
On Val?
If it doesn't work for you, let me have a go.
All right, we'll take turns.
Yes. Our 17-year-old is ripped. Don't worry about it. I think I feel the winds of change blowing through the veil thanks to you. Have fun with the wind dying. Can you zoom in? Shiryu's our best and brightest historian, you know. He knows all the stories from all the neighboring towns. I think learning about the world... I'm dying. I think learning about the world is more important than some silly old dying ritual anyway. They looked sideways. That's about as best I can do here. It might have been his, like, whatever it is that's going across his shoulder. I guess it's for his sheath. His abs. He is extremely muscular. Like, not like grossly muscular, but he's very muscular for a 17-year-old. Or I guess that would be the time to build the muscle. My daughter Karina never listens to a word anyone says. I hope the strict— oh wait, that's what you said last time. Toned, sure.
This is kind of
Stealing y'all's treasure.
Oh,
The soul guard is here, but our arm hasn't been pointed yet. This might be the first in Vale's history. Look, it's the Alma Fire. Hi, Alma Fire. Yeah, that's true. Mushroom fingers are packed with flavor, you know, not that I've ever eaten one myself, mind you. I've always wondered what they taste like. Okay, I guess I'm just getting the quests based off that. Anyway, that's the way to the Wind Kingdom. I still haven't been there. Just like I still haven't been to Mount Dorfer. You're the wind dying person. Also, it should be pointed out, there are other wind oracles. Karina is not the only person who knows how to do the wind thing. Yes, fine breeze today. The spirits of wind must be in a good mood. I think today might be the day. Oh, hello there. I have a favor to ask of you, if you'll spare the time. My name's Hiroshi, and I'm a windmill maker here in the Vale, although I'm getting on in years now. I'm actually thinking of letting my two apprentices take over from me soon. They're both capable windmill makers. My plan was to wait until the winds are fair, then give them both the task to perform unsupervised. And with the winds as good as we're having today, it seems like now's the right time. Going to hand this random stranger very important parts to the windmills. Here's what I need your help with. I'd like you to deliver some windmill parts to my apprentices. When you do, be sure to tell them they need to replace the parts by themselves. They should be awaiting for me in the area passage by the windmills. I imagine the first mill is straight ahead after you leave Longren. Head left from there to find the second. You know, I'm starting to think a gracious breeze carried you here today. May fair winds blow forever in your favor. Shiryu says it's be a while before the gales die down. He's really good at reading the winds. Prime pick for an Alm, if you ask me.
Grizzly!
Excuse me, but can I bother you for a sec? I wrote this really important letter, but a sudden gale blew it right out of my hands. Oh, sorry to spring this on you suddenly. I didn't mean to startle you. The thing is, I was supposed to send this letter to a girl I like over in Rata. A love letter, I guess you could call it. Kind of corny, I know. Now, how do I explain? You know how the Moonlit Parish and the Earth Village were destroyed? Well, whenever I hear news like that, it reminds me that peace rests on a knife's edge. A letter like that might be my last chance. But just as I was getting ready to give her the envelope, the wind picked up and, well, you know the rest. I had to go look for it myself, but area passage is rife with monsters. It'd be way too dangerous for someone like me to go there all alone. But you look like capable adventurers. Do you think you could try and find my letter if you're in the area? Okay, the amount of time I spent looking for that stupid letter the first time, because it is not easy to see. The little, like, red area that they mention is, like, the hint. I guess if you didn't play the demo, you could make the assumption that maybe Shiryu would be the Alm of Wind, because of, like, what that one person just said. And then maybe Karina just joins you with him. It does at least tell you that she joins your party. Since Longren is traditionally closed off to the outside world, we have many legends and superstitions you won't hear anywhere else. Still. It happens. I'm used to that with RPGs. Sometimes you find a weapon, like, way in advance, then you get the character, and you're just like, what do I do with this? And then you run into the character, and they have that weapon, and you're like, ah, now I know. Okay, I don't think I can go see the Dead Bear yet. Yeah, they're not around.
Taking this. Grizzly!
You are here for the wind dying? Forgive me, it is a complicated process. Even oracles in training have trouble with the steps.
Well, someone's gotta try. What was it? Breath of fresh air and all that?
It's that thing of like, I wonder who the main
look,
character is, and like
Remco
the
has
one
come to
person who has like
watch.
very
What's
noticeable
a Ramco,
hair.
anyway?
She's not a what? She's a sacred beast. Her ilk usually resides in the Wind Sanctum near the Vale. When Karina was training in the Sanctum, she suffered a grave injury. Though she lost one of her wings, this sacred beast saw her safely back home. Since then, the two have been like sisters, nigh inseparable. Ramco even began to stay here in the Vale instead of returning to her home. Although, Karina has been so preoccupied with Shiryu recently that she and Ramco have become distant. Perhaps they're growing apart. Oh, please excuse my rambling. I shouldn't distract you.
Yeah,
from
so
trying to
that's all
summon
you
the
get to
fairy
know
everyone
for a
in the
while.
Vale.
That's still basically all I know about it. Is
Yeah, sure.
something happened to
No pressure or
Karina
anything.
that caused her
You can
to
do it, Val.
lose her wing, and then her and
Let's
Ramco came back
see.
to the Vale. But the way that the chief and her parents talk about it, it's like she did something really bad and got injured. But they never tell you what it is, or at least they haven't yet.
Come wind!
That won't get you anywhere. You couldn't even swat a bug, let alone call forth a fairy.
I thought you said you were busy with Shiryu.
It's not my fault your
Immediate,
feeling
like,
was so
annoyed
bad I
older
couldn't
brother
ignore
vibes.
it. Even a novice could do this better than you. Thanks. It's been a while since I laughed so hard.
So, Hina, do you want to give it a go next?
Oh, can I?
Huh? But she's the alma fire. Where's the sense in that?
True, it's never been done. But I'd have quite a tale for the history books if the Alm of Fire were to call forth the fairy for the Veil of Wind this year.
Give me a break.
Oh, I see. Please allow me to try, Shiryu. I bet I can expertly harness this wind.
Hold it right there. Fine, I'll do it. As the best dyer in the Vale, I have now officially changed my mind. I'll show you how it's really done. Write that in your history books.
I know, right? It's like, whatever, as long as you do it, I guess. Once again, I would like to point out, this is a bad system. You're, like, in the case of, like, apparently no one else can summon the fairy but Karina, what would you do if she got really injured, or ultimately did decide not to do it? And that would just cause a massive problem.
Oh.
It's the fairy!
Huh?
Oh, Shiryu has been chosen as the Alm.
Congrats, Shiryu. Good job.
No,
Huh?
no, I refuse. I won't be the Alm.
But why? Being named the Alm is an honor. Why would you run away from your duty?
Hina?
I actually haven't named anyone the Alm yet.
How could he betray my trust like this?
Yeah. Shiryu was the one insisting that you had to call the fairy to keep the veil from being destroyed. Then he just ran away.
He should know better. He saw how hard I worked to be worthy. It's always been my dream, even though I knew it was hopeless. Everyone kept saying it's impossible for someone like me to be the Alm of Wind. That I can't feel the wind beneath my wings like the rest of them do. Now that I've lost
He
one of them.
bolted so fast.
When I told them all that the wind still spoke to me, no one in the Vale believed it. Not the other oracles, not my parents, and certainly not the chief. They pitied me, laughed at me when I said I wouldn't give up. Only Shiryu and Ramco stuck with me. But Shiryu never understood what it meant to me. He never understood me. Well, I'm done with him. Hey, Fairy!
What?
Appoint me the Alm. I'll take Shiryu's place. I'm the perfect candidate. Make me the Alm of Wind.
The decision isn't entirely up to me. I must consult with your patron elemental first. But your skill with the wind dyeing was most impressive. The wind was dancing with joy. I believe that Sylphid may accept you as the Alm if we ask.
I'll take your compliments to heart, Fairy. Sounds like we've got an elemental to convince.
Where do we find this Sylphid fella?
At Mount Gala, the source of the winds. Do you and your girlfriend want to come? As the Soul Guard, it's your
Notice
job
she
to
said
keep them
gala, but there's no
potential
E
alms
in that
safely to their
word, and so if I say
destination.
gala, I'm so sorry.
You have a point.
I probably won't,
Let's
because
go to
I'm
Mount
used
Gala.
to it now, but it throws me off every time. And like, I get it, it's a big A, or whatever you want to call it, long A. I forget. English major, but I forget. Karina has joined the party. Huzzah.
I forgot about Ramco. Sorry, but I gotta find her before we head off.
It's a gala.
Or I never forgive myself.
You have to dress up for
I
the
ignored her for so long. But
annual
if this
gala.
works out and I am named the Alm, I have to say goodbye before I go. And
Little
I gotta
detail.
apologize.
Hold on.
Help me find Ramco.
Because she has open-toed sandals. Her feet are also
Where
clawed.
could Ramco have run off
Which
to?
it's like a little
Come on,
detail
Nina.
I adore.
Let's help Karina search.
Of course. What good is a convoy if we don't work together?
Hi,
Thanks.
Shiryu, you are
I mean
already
it.
over here.
She's gotta be in the Vale somewhere. Let's keep looking.
Oh no.
Sorry, I just want to be left alone right now. Yeah. Oh, okay. Down here I go, I guess.
This is kind of exciting. Is this?
Curious cookie. A bunch of... Oh, look, you can see little sylphids. Or sylphid spirits. Next to the fabric. No, she's primarily a support role, or at least not yet. Because I've played so many RPGs,
Kinda
I
exciting.
wouldn't... How do I say this? If you do, I would imagine it would be at the expense of losing Val for a second. Kind of like how if you've played Final Fantasy VII and you know how Cloud falls into like that coma and you play as Tifa for a little bit. Well, you play as Tifa and
Taking
Sid and a
this?
couple others. But like something similar to that. That like she kind of steps into a
This
role
might
of
be
another
useful.
character. Because, hold on. Do you see this? There's 5 little sections and there's by 5 characters. Hina doesn't fit into one of those. She's not one of the 5. So I wouldn't...
Taking this?
I haven't yet, and I've not completely ruled it out, but it's not an obvious
Yes.
thing. But she assists. Like, she does the healing and... Damn it, I missed.
This is kind of exciting. Is this?
Three. But everyone levels up at the same rate. Hold on, let me go. I'm rolling down the hill. Hold on 1 second. So, like, even if I don't have someone on the field, they're still getting experience. Yeah, it's very nice. I try to swap out my characters very regularly, though. I don't like falling into the habit of only using the same characters. Yeah, it can be a big problem on
Taking this?
older RPGs, I feel, because it's like it's where you get like why those RPGs are so grindy is like you're trying to level everybody up. Like when I play 6, the amount of time I might spend off stream building people up, because not only does 6 have a very expansive cast, it also has to do with like how you learn magic and teach everyone magic. It can take a while building everyone up. I'd have my main 3 that I'd like, and the others would be like, oh, that's a steep, that's crazy. 30 to 40 levels back.
Ramco? I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
I
the
was
Persona games.
stupid. I got so caught up in
Hey,
Shiryu
with
that
Persona,
I neglected
I've
you.
noticed,
But in the end,
because even
you
I
were
have
the
that
only
issue when
one
I was
who
playing
understood
Persona
me.
5. Sorry, hold on.
I have to go and meet with Sylphid now in order to become the Alm of Wind. I guess this is goodbye. Go back to your home in the sanctum. Farewell, my friend. This isn't the way to the Wind Sanctum, you know. You really want to come with me? Okay, let's get moving.
I wonder if I could have left without... yeah. Because, so, when Karina fights, Ramco fights alongside her and is, like, one of your attack buttons. So I wonder if I could have even left Longren without grabbing Ramco. What was I gonna say? Persona. I've noticed this with Persona 5. Because Persona 5 is the only one I've played. As you progress, not only... I feel like Persona has too many characters for, like, your party members. But, like, as you progress... And I don't know if they tried to tie this in with the story, but, like, you don't use Morgana as often because you don't need his wind element. And then you get better healers, you get better support. And so on one hand, it would be interesting for you to, like, naturally make that choice of not using him as much to line up with the conflict in the story, which is really dumb. I hate it, by the way. That's around the same time I stopped playing, because my brain couldn't. But I also did notice that, like, I think Persona 5 has too many characters. I did kind of notice that with Persona 4 too, though. It's like, you have more characters than you need, and, like, there's nothing wrong with swapping out your party, but it feels like you're always gonna have 2 characters you just don't use.
Thanks for helping me find Ramco.
Which is interesting, because it's like, Final Fantasy VII has the
Don't
similar
worry.
issue.
I'm here to protect you. Let's go.
I'm just glad that you and Ramco made up.
Hold on. They try to give you one for every element. Yeah, because you start off with Curse, and then you can swap personas. I was gonna say, like, with Final Fantasy VII, there's 7 of them, but, like, in the original Final Fantasy VII, Yuffie and Vincent are optional, even. But 7, I feel, is a little... You're very versatile in that, like, anyone can be a magic user. I have to go up and hop down.
Oh look, another
That's kind of why, like, one of the things I am enjoying about this is...
Feathers can be found all over the world. At least that's what Shiri... You know what? Never mind.
There's only
Let's
5
be sure to greet any
characters,
Dudbears we spot during our
but they have
travels.
their default
We'll probably
class,
end up
and
with
then there's
spare
a
grizzlies
class
for
for
us to
every
trade anyway.
element, and there's 8 elements. So there is a lot of versatility you can have with the party members here, and it's very nice. And honestly, like, I'm not great with every class and every character, but I feel like I can swap out and use any character.
Grizzly!
Okay, speaking to Grizzly, though.
Babu, ba-doo-doo-bub. Da baba-doo-bub.
Okay, they always have, like, really nice items, and then these are permanent stat boost.
Dub, bubble bub, bada. Dub, bubble bub, bada. Dub, bubble bada.
No, okay.
Dub, bubble bub,
That's okay.
bada.
We'll find more and come. Bub.
Dada. Bub,
This is the dub bear language. It's a lot of very similar sounding words, but it's like spaced and repeated in a specific way.
dada. Guguda.
Ta-da. Okay, hold on. We're actually gonna go up to Mount Gala real quick so that I can do class. The class quest or the tutorial real quick. Hello, Fiona. Excuse me, are you familiar with the work of Darny the painter? He's a traveling landscape artist who paints pictures of the world's most beautiful scenery. Some have gone so far as to label him a genius. For reasons I won't get into, I'm on a journey to retrace his steps. I want to see what he saw when he painted. I want to understand what was going through his mind at the time. So you wouldn't be a traveler yourself, would you? Perhaps you've been to the place in this picture. Not yet, I haven't, but I do know where it is. I'm fairly I'm fairly certain I can't speak. I'm fairly sure it's an airy passage, but I'm honestly not too familiar with the lay of the land here. If you happen to find the spot in the painting, please let me know and I'll be right over. Oh, goodness, listen to me. Asking you all these favors without even introducing myself. Where are my manners? My name's Fiona. Pleased to meet your acquaintance, traveler.
Welcome! Welcome!
Welcome.
We're having a special.
Nope, I already have that.
Coming in soon.
Yeah. When I briefly played 12, I was a little overwhelmed with the skill acquisition system.
Welcome! All our goods are high quality. Come again soon!
If when you get to 12. I kind of want to. Oh yeah, I've heard. I think that's the one... Oh boy. Enjoy this list as tiny as it is while you can, because it's not going to be that way for very long. Yeah, I heard it was like a remastered version of it. I don't know what the differences completely are, though. Oh, I'm not hitting X and jumping off when I'm supposed to. Alright, hold on. As the classes that...
Karina, the
Oh.
wind conveyed the news. You are off to consult with
see.
Sylphid, the elemental of wind, if I am not mistaken.
There's nothing you can say that'll change my mind. I'll become the and make you see you were wrong about me. About everything.
Soul Guard, as you can see, young Karina is as stubborn as can be. But we cannot disobey the fairy's guidance. Please see Karina safely to wherever she is needed, be that the mana tree or otherwise.
You can count on it.
Well, you heard him. Just remember that you'll have me to thank for the Vale's prosperity from here on out.
Before you leave, Soulguard,
I already have one of those. I also already have one of those.
I would have you take this seed with you. It is said to bring forth hidden abilities of the bearer. Take it with my blessing.
In fact, they're Easter clipped.
Thanks. I'll find a use for it.
Probably, but...
The elms are necessary to preserve a future for the whole world. It is our duty, much as a soul guard's duty is to protect us. Karina, an Oracle of Wind, wishes to take upon herself the task of an alm of her own volition. No one fights against their fate if they themselves choose to bear it. We all have our individual roles to play, places from which we hail, ways of life. All of these affect
Before
the
I get to
future.
12, though, I do want to play 10,
And I
because
am
10 is
proud
definitely one of
to
those
be the
Final
bearer of
Fantasies
such
I
an
know
important
about,
mission
I watched
for those who may
others
come after.
play it when I was little. Never really got to play it myself. And then I want to play 10 too, because... I don't know. For all the back and forth I've heard about it, I've heard from other people, it is actually really fun to play. It's just you gotta get used to a very different system.
Mind letting me get a piece of that thing the chief gave you before we left? I figure I need to be as strong as I can be to fight monsters out here.
Wait, you're going to fight too?
I might seem like a delicate blossom, but I'm a force
Sweetheart,
to be
you do
reckoned with.
not seem
But
like a
wasn't
delicate
the
blossom.
happiest farewell back there?
Blossom, sure.
Will you be able
Delicate,
to set out
no.
on the pilgrimage straight away if you're chosen as the alm?
Don't worry, I'm not leaving anything behind that I care about. Honestly, I couldn't wait to leave. I've always wanted to see what's out there in the world. Back in Longren, they don't let you travel much unless you're chosen to be the alm. If it weren't for you showing up when you did, I'd still be stuck in town
She's
itching to get out.
downplaying that a
Thanks
lot,
for that,
apparently.
Then I suppose we'll have
It's
to do our
apparently
best
very
so that
frowned
you get
upon
to continue on the alm's
for-
journey.
The people of Tiania sure are friendly. Or maybe you folks are the exception.
It's apparently very frowned upon for folks in Longren to travel. Okay, Mount Gala. Hold on. We're actually going to turn around once I do a thing. I'm just waiting for it to pop up. Nothing? Don't got anything to say? So, we're done with the cutscene? We're good? There we go.
The elemental vessel is reacting to something. How strange.
Whoa!
See? Perfectly capable of just moving around on her own.
spirits wish to aid you on your journey. Elemental vessels can tap into different types of mana and bestow those powers on their wielders. Don't hesitate to use them during your travels. And now, I must be off.
Too fucking aware, Fairy. I don't know what you're doing like 90% of the time. Sorry, I'm kind of skipping through all this, but I know how it goes. Okay, that's it. Okay, I have unlocked Rune Knight. More classes. They're so good. Like, holy shit, they're so good. Also, weapon designs. I know I don't... if you go through my Discord, I shared some pictures I took of, like, the mithril weapons when I had access to them. So pretty. Like, I love them. Aw. Yeah, I worry about it running on my PC as well. Based on the issue I had with my demo. On the demo that second time. Is it on... Like, I know it's only on PlayStation 5. I don't know if it's on Xbox. I mean, like, I know it's not on PlayStation 4. Okay, I can use the vessels in... battle. Oh, I see. It's unfortunate. Okay. Yeah, I know her dancer class is so cute. I am, however, going to keep Val on Rook Knight, though. Just because I don't have a second set of fans for her yet. But now that I have it open for both of them, I can. That's fine, actually. Yep. So these are magic. They're like moves, right? You can use these. These are just learned. I can use them regardless of what class I have. It's these like passive abilities that are class specific. Oh, and weapon abilities, of course. Your Flame Saber, Thunder Saber, and she has Cyclone and Defenseless on them. Good strategy. Okay, that way she uses.
Karina, do you know if Ramco is fully grown?
She hasn't grown much since we met, but I think she's still a baby. Our village has tales from olden times of huge sacred beasts flying through the skies on their bright white wings.
Then will you give us a lift once you're big enough, Ramco?
She said no thanks.
Aw, too bad. I kind of wanted a ride.
Ramco says that she'll let you ride on her, Hina.
No fair.
No.
Let's plan our next move.
I do wonder that if when we go to the Wind Sanctum, if we'll see like another version of like another sacred beast that's the same as Ramco, like a very but like older and bigger. Okay. We are now heading back into the Airy Passage. Oh, actually, hold on. We're going to make a detour. There's an elementite up here.
Please work. I'm brimming with power.
Okay, there's 2 treasure chests over there. It's fine. Just need to find them quick. Where to go?
Let me see. Is this?
Ample incense. That's for gathering more lucre.
This is kind of exciting. This might be useful.
And candy. Candy is always nice. Okay, we have like 4 quests to do out here. Oof, I bet I'll randomly like get in the mood to do things and like yeah, it's always a regret. Like I knew I could do this. The answer is yes, you can do it, but also ouch. That's why rest periods are important. Why didn't I use it? Yes.
Here they come!
Take this! Get them at me! Take this! This should be the last of them.
Go eat punks like you for breakfast.
Okay, windmill. Can't comment on that one way or the other. Probably just need to build up your endurance and stamina. Can't chat right now. We're getting ready to make some important repairs on this windmill. I'd stand well back if I were you. If you don't mind sharing. Relinquish windmill components. What? Orochi wants me to carry out the repairs on my own. I knew this day would come, but I'm not sure I'm ready. If I make a mistake... No, I mustn't think like that. Not if I ever want to succeed as a windmill maker in my own right. Thanks for the parts. I know exactly what to do. Okay. I'm waiting for the grilled fish. On me.
Grant me power! I'm brimming with
So
power!
it feels like this is where this is going.
Got some syrup!
Easy!
Honestly, I was
this means I've
thinking about
improved.
being a Litwick, because, like, very briefly.
Taking this?
Because, Chandelure is my favorite Pokemon, like, just in general. But, like, I knew Jay was going to also be a ghost Pokemon, and I didn't want to... Like, I know we joked about it.
Okay.
I'm with you. He sure made quick work of them.
Okay, so that works. So she has levitate, right? Isn't that how that works? Yes, I'm Hiroshi's apprentice. Can I help you? Hiroshi's not coming, you say. Does he expect me to replace these parts all by myself? He wants us to take over from him. I wasn't expecting this to happen so soon. But if Hiroshi thinks I'm ready, I guess I'm ready. I'll repay the faith he's shown in me. Okay. We have the letter, we've delivered the parts. Next we need mushrooms and...
Be careful, everyone!
painting.
You're mine!
Feeling good! Don't let it get away! That's all of them!
Sanjay wasn't expecting this. The Torchic took Sunny Day and the Lithwood took Solar Beam. I mean, I guess that works. I mean, it doesn't, no guessing to it, it does work.
Taking this?
As long as they can move in sync with each other. If your Litwick always goes before your Torchic, you're gonna have an issue. Well, not always. I guess, how long would Sunny Day take, like, for a game like a tabletop thing? See, I knew there was gonna be a roasted fish joke in here somewhere. Okay.
This is kind of exciting. Is this?
Oh, I just meant like from the point of casting or using, how long does it take to build an effect? I know in the game it's immediate.
Just what I need.
But in terms of like tabletop standards, one way to balance it would be to make them spend longer, like casting a spell. They spend longer casting it,
Let's plan our next move.
or it takes longer to go into effect.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just if you need to balance things out, and I feel like weather effects can be heavily abused for the purpose of, well, similar to how you can abuse them in main game. Well, I am using the term abuse loosely here, but you know what I mean.
When push comes to shove, I don't hold back.
I mean, it's not giving me that much of a boost. And the whole purpose of that is base evolutions tend to not be very strong. Mushrooms. It's only working as an extreme in this case because you let me take the special condition. The special ability of Snom and Frostmoth. I know.
Yes.
So that's why I double checked it with you. It's just like if I need to take something else, I will. Besides, I feel like the way I have that character going at the moment, I am balancing out their potential, like, overpowered defense with their personality. Oh, yeah, multi-purpose room. Fuck yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you still have stuff to work out.
Yes. Let me see. This might be useful.
Jay is off, like, Sunday and Wednesday. I'll grab him, and we will write down, all the things, so I can send that to you.
I don't need you to lose ball.
You're mine! Take this! Just one left! Just what I need! Come at me!
Let's keep moving. Taking this?
She is, like, I don't know when you did that. But she is currently not even at home right now. Like, her and M went on, like, a vacation sort of thing. I would say, like, give it, like, on Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday or something, and poke at her again. That way, like, she's back home and rested. She's been very busy these past couple weeks. No, you're not. I highly doubt she considered it bothering. It's just she's been busy with, like, work, and then now they're on that trip. So...
A rare item!
Step aside, little monster.
You're mine!
Don't let it get away.
Got some syrup.
Stretch out my arms. Dead bears. It's a currency. It's like a special currency for a specific merchant.
Got it.
No bite.
This was our victory.
Okay, admire the view. That's not, that's an empty coffee cup. Where's my water? This. I found the scene from Barney's painting. Time to let Fiona know. This is it, the place in Darnay's painting. Isn't the breeze here wonderful? And Mount Gala is even more beautiful than I could have ever imagined. Thank you. You know what? I think I'll stay here a little while longer. I want to soak in as much of what Darnay saw as I can.
That was a great new experience.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. After I've cleared my head, I think I'll head to Ralta. We're next. Hopefully we'll see each other again in the future.
Yes.
Hold on. Promise I'm not crazy. This game loves dropping treasure chests on the side of cliffs like this. Right?
Let me see. A rare item.
Oh yeah, sure you can. Nice. Oh, nope, never mind.
Taking this?
Yeah, I'm not throwing that. That's okay, I'll come back when I have them beam.
Grizzly! Yes!
Oh, that one. Okay, hold on. Just gonna drop off here.
This is kind of exciting.
And then we're gonna run for our life. Goodbye. You did not see me. Go away.
Here they come!
Easy. This should be the last.
The elements are with you!
Easy.
That's fine.
Nope. Yes, I know. That's a lesser elemental area to shade.
This is kind of exciting. A rare item.
Who is, in fact, the last element you get. Stop it.
Easy.
You're stronger than you think!
Easy.
What? Over already?
Use the meridian to travel.
Yeah, if you, you get them in this order. So it's Sylphid, Luna, Undine, Salamando, Gnome, Dryad, Lumina, Shade.
Be careful,
Ooh,
everyone!
that had a glass second. Nice.
Last one! Don't let me get away!
Come at me.
Just a little bit extra help.
Over already?
Over already. Aesthetically, like, of course, some of Shade's
Got some syrup. Power of mana. Let's ride this whirlwind. Grizzly.
Some of Shade's classes are like my favorites.
Taking this.
But they're also like pretty decently strong for just dealing out damage. Elemental vessel wise,
Yes.
I like luminous, I guess. Fucking goddamn it, I'm so off.
Taking this. Please work.
Alright, so these little elemental areas are like challenge runs.
All right, we can take them on.
Maybe.
Take this!
Ow. Oh, we're doing that now.
You're mine!
Problem is, though, is I'm trying to do one. Don't have a counter element to be using against the,
Okay. Okay, this one's just for you!
It's not gonna do a lot of damage.
Easy.
Oh, never mind. Enough to kill them all, though. Perfect.
Consider yourself lucky I didn't go all out.
This is kind of exciting.
And Thunderbolt. Gonna give that to Karina. Honestly. Thunder magic is wind magic on this game. It's like high leveled. Oh jeez. High leveled in magic. In fact, I'm trying to think. Outside of Cyclone, the next two wind spells are both thunder spells. It's Thunderbolt and Thunderstorm. And I don't know what the one after that is called.
Brimming with power.
Just like all the water magic is actually ice magic.
Got some syrup.
Is there a yellow light over here? Oh, it's in the sun.
Yes.
Am I going to get up Mount Gala?
This is kind of exciting. This might be useful.
Maybe. I think Gala's not that long. I can probably get there before the end of stream.
Yes.
Maybe. I don't know. Oh, there it goes.
Let me see. Nice. Let's plan our next move. The clothes are off. Easy. Come at me. This should be the last of them.
Large, no bite.
We sure made quick work of them.
Nope.
Let me see.
This is where the
This?
ancient ruin for the airy passages. So we're that way. That'll be a fun headache for later. But like, way later.
Got some syrup.
I need to remember I'm playing on herd.
Yes.
I can't go willy-nilly into certain fights.
You're mine.
There's a couple of fights I definitely did
Just what I need.
way too soon. Where? Sit still.
Come at me!
They weren't so tough.
That is a Valor. That's not a Valor fly, that's a Fortune fly.
Let me see. Is this?
High investment. That's for Karina.
Got some syrup.
A bunch of level 52 mole bears. Don't worry about it. That treasure is the one that's inside. I can't get it yet. This, however, I should be able to grab. Maybe mole bears sound like ways.
Taking this.
Don't mind me, puppies.
Yes. Got some syrup. Taking this. Where to next?
One, and then we head back to Mount Gala. Well, actually, no, we have to go turn in all our side quest. Oh, I know what this is. This is.
Power of mana! Let's ride this whirlwind! Got some syrup.
Okay. Perfect.
Where to next?
What is... And a vacation's letter, mushroom, return to quest cover. Got it. Kinda easy though. I guess I could do Mount Gala and Lafayette.
Huh?
On stream. Do those two areas. Relinquish Keshi's letter. Oh, you actually found it. The envelope's still sealed. It's a bit grubby, but at least no one's opened it. With the world the way it is, it's impossible to predict how life is going to turn out. That's why I need to deliver the letter right away. Thanks a lot for your help. Your actions may well decide my future.
Helping out people in need can be
Good luck, my guy. Is that mushroom finger fungi you have on you? Can I see them? They're round and surprisingly firm. Interesting. You don't mind if I take them off your hands, do you? Here, thanks. Thanks here for this is for your trouble.
That was a great new experience.
The arrow rain. Wait, I lost the old man. Where did he go? There he is.
Sure.
So they completed the repairs all by themselves. Well, in that case, I think it's time to retire. I always knew they had it in them, but this puts it beyond the doubt. had good ones today. Very good ones indeed. Thanks for delivering the parts. Now I want you to have this. Consider it a day's
One
wage.
step closer to becoming a
It's
true
a
soul
healing
guard.
spell, but yes, thank you. A day's wage.
Babu, badu, da baba do bum. Dub, bubba bada. Dub, bubba bada. Dada, gooda.
Nada. Okay, I think that's everything. Oh, I need to put the time vest on Karina.
Welcome. What'll it be? You have a good eye. Thank you for your purchase. You have a good. Thank you for your purchase. Come again.
Ow, my legs. Been sitting in my chair all day. Yeah, it's already 11. Okay, so we're gonna save here. So I need to stream on Thursdays for Visions, that way I can spend more time playing it.
Got some syrup.
Try not to skip anymore. It just depends. Yeah, if you're in the same time zone as I am, it's already 11 p.m.
Let's rest up.
It does. Okay. Here we go. Mount Gala. So next time, next Thursday, we will do Mount Gala, fight our first boss, and then move on. Yeah, and what I might do on Thursdays is I might try to start at 7:30 instead of 8, so I can get a little extra time in. So yeah, sorry for the kind of short stream, although it's been almost 2 hours. It was a lot of talking. And a lot of me running around the area passage gathering stuff. But it's important stuff. I need to remember to give Karina healing light next time. But I will see you all tomorrow for Played Up. Yeah, I guess that's it. If you're part of the Discord and haven't voted yet,
The peoples of our world live their lives blessed.
go ahead and take a look at the interactive story.
Visions of mana.
And there's no live reading tomorrow, but there will be one next week. So until then, thank you all so much for stopping by. Have a lovely evening or time of day that is for you. And I will see you next time. Bye!